Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Dear KB. My name is Kristen Brown, and I'm here to answer my subscribers' questions. And today's question that I'm going to answer is, why do people cheat? Now, this is a really big question and one that plagues so many people. If you have gone through a cheating on relationship, you know how incredibly painful it can be, and it's such a profound betrayal. And one of the things that we often ask is why? Many times we want to turn it around on ourselves. We want to blame ourselves. We think there's something we didn't do, or there's something that's wrong with us. And the pain that accompanies this type of betrayal is, frankly, one of the worst pains that we can feel. So in this episode today, answering the subscribers' questions, I am hoping to help ease your heart a little bit, because the truth is that the reason why people cheat the majority of the time has everything to do with them and nothing to do with you. So today I'm going into the 5 reasons that people cheat. If you're new here, please feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you get alerted when I upload new videos. And also feel free to comment any questions you might have. Just make sure that they are clear and succinct, and I will add them to my queue to be answered on a future KB episode. So let's dive in. What is the first reason why many people cheat? And that is what I call entitlement. What that means is that a person has lived their life basically with little to no consequences for their bad behavior. Basically, they're spoiled or they are a narcissist, which means they do not give a hoot about anybody else. They're only concerned about getting their own needs met. And sometimes that means that they're going to go from one shiny object to the next shiny object to the next shiny object, because all they care about is what they want. They want instant gratification, and they want it now. They don't have what it takes to put the work into a true relationship because they don't know how to partner. So they make it all about themselves. And this has nothing to do with you or your worth. These people came into the relationship like this, and they will likely leave the relationship like this. It is truly a lack of character that is causing them to cheat. The second reason why people cheat is a fear of commitment. Now, this might come as kind of a shock to you guys, because you're like, I don't really understand how that plays a part here. So people have fear of commitments for many, many different reasons. And what that promotes them to do is to basically keep one foot in the relationship and one foot out of the relationship. So they're kind of in this teetering place within the relationship. And there is likely a part of them that really does want to commit, and they love you, and they want to be with you, but there's this other part of them that is stopping them. And there could be a bounty of reasons why, but one of the reasons could be that they're afraid of losing their freedom, or they're afraid of hurting somebody, or they themselves are afraid of getting hurt. So they play this kind of in and out game. But the problem with that is, when a person is not fully committed in standing in this relationship, then that keeps this area opened up in their mind and in their heart. So if something else comes along that might turn their head, they may act on that impulse rather than pull themselves in, because they are actually in a committed relationship. And the third reason why a lot of people cheat is what I called addiction to the attraction phase. This was something that I learned, like, probably, 20 years ago, when somebody actually said this to me. A guy said this to me. He said he really liked that attraction phase. And I noticed that he would kind of bounce around from woman to woman. Now, what this typically is pointing at is a person's unhealed places within, which you guys hear me talk about a lot on this channel, is that we have this worthiness cup that we come here with, and it's full. But as life comes to us and tells us that we're not okay, there's something wrong with us, we're not enough, we're too much, all of the messages, that our worthiness cup starts to drain. So what happens in the attraction phase or the lust phase of a relationship is it's all great, right? Everybody's so great, and they're telling you how great you are, and I love being with you, and you're so good, it's shiny, and you're so smart, and you're so wonderful, and you're all these things. And their worthiness cup is so empty that they just love this feeling. Now, what happens is that an empty worthiness cup, outside validation comes in and it flies out the bottom. So that only is going to feel good for so long, but as the relationship progresses, then naturally issues arise because that's what relationships are. They are our curriculum. They are our classrooms to learn in. So as those things start to arise organically in the relationship, they go, this is too difficult. I'm not feeling good anymore. So I'm going to go look for somebody else to start making me feel good. So they tend to jump around from one person to the next person because they're addicted to that feeling of feeling worthiness, or like somebody is giving them something that they don't have. And the fourth reason why people cheat is there is little to no emotional and or physical intimacy in the relationship. Okay, so we are emotional beings and we are physical beings, and we have needs in both of those areas. But if we are not getting those needs met, if we are not having the conversations, the connections, the building of trust, the vulnerability, the sharing of the heart with each other, then there's going to be this it's basically a void in the relationship, because that is the very thing that draws couples close together, is by having that connection. And if you or your person is someone that really needs that and requires that in a relationship, and they're not getting it, then in walks somebody else that actually just organically starts to feed them that, and that person starts to look really, really attractive to them. And a lot of times this can be healed or overcome by talking to our partner and actually knowing self well and saying, hey, I need a little bit more depth here. Like, this seems very superficial and kind of like a friendship, and I'm not getting that that feeling that I need from this. However, a lot of times people are not aware. They're not self-aware. They don't really know what's missing. And instead of looking within, they look outside. And that other thing comes in, and boom, they end up cheating. Okay, and the other part of that is that the physical intimacy. So we are sexual beings. We are literally designed that way biologically to procreate and to have certain physical needs within our bodies. And if we're in a relationship where those physical needs aren't being met, a lot of times the people are going to look outside the relationship to get those physical needs met. And that doesn't make it right. And any of these things, I'm not saying any of these things are okay. I'm not condoning it. I am merely answering the question of, why do people cheat? Because it is a very painful thing, and we want to turn it around on us, like I said in the beginning, and make it our fault, like there's something wrong with us. But when we can understand these reasons why, then, maybe in some of these situations that we can start to have more awareness around it and say, okay, I spotted that red flag, or I saw that happening, or this happening, and I didn't speak up. Again, not making it your fault. The only way that we can heal and grow and shift through life is by taking personal responsibility for our part of the equation. That doesn't mean we own anybody else's faults or anybody else's bad behaviors, but it means I want more information and more knowledge so that going forward, I can have a better plan, or I can actually be more aware. So if the physical needs aren't being met in the relationship, that could be another reason why people cheat. And the fifth reason why people cheat is maybe the relationship is over. Maybe it's already been over for a long time and nobody's actually pulling the plug on it. So I've seen this repeatedly in my life, that a lot of couples will stay together because of either finances, or it's going to be too complicated to separate, or they were staying together just for the children. People say that a lot, even though the relationship is terrible and it's really not doing the kids any good, but they don't yet know that, because again, we are all teeny tiny baby humans, is what I call us, and we don't know what we don't know yet. So if we haven't had that awareness, we don't have that awareness. And if the relationship is over, and then in walks a person that starts to ignite those feelings in the other person, and then they end up cheating. So that can be the fifth reason why people cheat. Now, I really hope that this video today has given you guys some sense of peace, that it's not because you're broken, it's not because you're ugly, it's not because you didn't have that special position, or you didn't do everything right, because relationships are messy. All right. We have two individuals coming into a relationship, each with their own backstory and pains and dramas and experiences and viewpoints and influences in the life, whether it's religious or culturally. You bring those two people together and they're not going to be cohesive right away. Couples that are willing to grow through that will stay together because they know that they're bringing two different things, and they try to find that middle ground so that they can grow. But people that are unaware, or they're narcissistic, or they just don't give a crap about anybody else, they're going to, or they want instant gratification. They're just going to tend to do whatever it is that they're going to do. But that does not mean that there is something wrong with you. So I hope you got some peace from this video today. If you've experienced a betrayal in the cheating department, that it doesn't mean that you are lacking in any way. And maybe you can find some peace in your journey forward. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I super hope that you give me a fat thumbs up and maybe share with someone you know that is struggling in this department. And don't forget to comment below, because I love reading your guys' comments. My goal here on YouTube is to build a community of individuals that are on that healing path, that want better for their lives, are willing to attract and create healthy relationships through healing the foundation of self first. So thank you guys for being here, and I'll talk to you next time.